Right, as promised, this is probably going to be my last video, and it's my notes on things to keep in mind and things to bring. So we will start with things to bring. Black boots. If you have access to, a Nex or the internet, and you can go on and there's a list, just do some Googling and find a list of approved boots. I think if you go to My Navy HR and you go to the uniform regs and you look for black boots, they have a list of authorized black boots you can wear. You can wait and you can get them at ODS, but they're going to be brand new and they're not going to be broken in. So people are saying wear them in the hot shower and walk around with them, and they were authorizing people to wear them upstairs on the fort deck in like PT gear, just to try to help break them in. I'd recommend wearing 2 pairs of socks to break them in, or bring your own black boots that you've worn for however, a month or so, wearing around your house and that are kind of already broken in. So that way when you're running and you're PTing, you don't have to deal with blisters. It's one less thing. So, and you get to pick which brand or what kind of black boots you want instead of the standard issue Bates or whatever they are. They're awful. They're actually, the Navy is trying to figure something else out and get rid of these boots because everybody says they're terrible. My roommates had a broken eyelet. They're bad. Okay, next thing to bring, appropriate size water bottle. So think about it. You're going to be carrying a water bottle everywhere you go in your left arm like this, cradled everywhere. So don't be that guy or girl that brings a monstrous water bottle thinking I'm going to be the most hydrated person there and my pee is going to be so clear, nobody's even going to know what to think of me because I'm such an all-star. Like, don't be that person. Get a regular freaking size water bottle, like 24 ounces. You'll have plenty of opportunities to go fill it up. You want to make sure it's full anytime you go to go drill, so you'll have it full. Just get a normal size water bottle. We had people week 1 going to the Nex and getting smaller water bottles because they thought they were, macho or whatever. So, other things to bring. Sea bag if you have one. If you have a green sea bag, if you're a prior, bring your sea bag. You'll need it. You might need it for some PT. And if you don't have it, well, you're SOL. When it's like day 1 when you go get your PT clothes, you can get a sea bag. So if you don't have a sea bag, you'll get one like day 1. So, here's my mistake. I brought a sea bag, and I brought stuff in my sea bag, and I unpacked my sea bag day 1, and then I put it in my suitcase, and then I put my suitcase out in my car because I didn't need it anymore. And then we needed the sea bag. So I was like, oh crap. And then I wasn't authorized liberty to go to my car. So I have it. Luckily, somebody in my wing had a backup, and I used theirs. But that's enough on sea bags. Good shoes, running shoes. So I had some nicely broken in, extremely broken in running shoes. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to trash these things. Whatever shoes I bring, I'm going to wear them all the time, and they're going to get trashed anyway. So I'm going to bring my trashy ones. I'm not going to bring my nice ones. And it was like week 1, the rubber on the bottom layer was ripping off from the foam, and it was messing up my gait, and I was having knee issues. My whole world was falling apart because I thought I was going to be smart and bring my beat up shoes, even though in the comments it says bring good shoes. I didn't listen. But bring good shoes. A lot of people had Brooks. A lot of people are the Hoka fans. I got a pair of Hokas. People rant. Whatever shoe is like your brand on. I got a pair of those too. Bring good shoes. PT shoes. Your Go Fasters, they'll call them. Body wipes. That's an optional thing. Ended up not having them, but there's definitely in the beginning. There's times when. So how's it gonna go? You're gonna have PT in the morning, and then you're gonna get done with PT. You're gonna march straight to chow, and then you're gonna get out of chow, and then you need to change into your khakis or whatever, or NWUs to immediately go start your first lecture in another building. And you got to form up, and you got to march and all that stuff. So there's no time to shower, which sucks. And I think I mentioned it earlier in the video, my thing was if there's 30 minutes, I would even say maybe 20. If we have 20 minutes before we need to be mustered, I'm going to haul ass. Strip down, get wet, rinse down, shower, out of there. Just to get rinsed off. Otherwise, get some body wipes. I've never been a fan of body wipes. I always feel like I'm just smearing the sweat around anyway, and I end up still being sticky and gross. A lint roller, it's nice to have. A lighter, like the flame, like a lighter. I put an asterisk here because you're not allowed to have it, so it's contraband. Right? Keep it locked up in your locker, and no one's gonna know you have it. So, but it's nice because you'll use it to burn off all your Irish pennants on your NWUs, and it's way better than using fingernail clippers. So, and I wasn't the only one who brought a lighter. Other people had lighters, and we made out just fine. Next, fingernail clippers. White underwear. So when you wear your summer whites or your dress whites, you need white underwear. Black shoe polish. If you can get some before you show up, it's nice because everybody's going to be buying. Every single person, 172 people, are all going to need black shoe polish. And they just they can't maintain, every class that comes through that amount of supply of shoe polish. Maybe they can. Maybe you get lucky and they just got an order. Maybe you don't and they're out. And now you have everybody in your wing trying to borrow, one thing of black shoe polish. Just, if you can, bring your own. I brought my own and it wasn't an issue. If you have a smartwatch, Apple Watch, a lot of people had Apple Watches, great. I have a Samsung watch, also great. However, I didn't bring it. I left it at home because I was like, I want a dumb watch that I can get scratched up and I'm not going to have to worry about. However, it's awesome when you're in lectures because if my fiance is trying to text me, I don't have my phone. You cannot have your phone. People were starting to sneak them at the end. Don't be that person. But people with their Apple Watches were all right, especially if it was a LTE one. I guess it has to be an LTE one. If it's not an LTE, well, it's not gonna work. But so I had it mailed to me, and it got there pretty quick. So for like the next week, I had it, and it was great. I guess I'll caveat that with I have AT&T, and I had iffy service in the briefing lecture hall, depending on where I was sitting. So I had enough bar, I would say a bar, in order to get and send messages. But you shouldn't be on your phone or watch during lectures. Don't do it. Shirt stays. So shirt stays are these elastic things that go from the bottom of your shirts here and here. They clip and they go down to underneath the bottom of your foot, and they hold your shirt down, right? Nice and perfect and tight. So when you sit down and stand up, your shirt stays tucked in. They're nice. Bring pennies. Without showing you, it's not going to make any sense. So hopefully somebody there knows. But the shirt stays have these stupid little rubber tabs, and they don't ever stay in, and they're gonna pop off your shirt all the time, and they're driving nuts. So bring 4 pennies, and then you can on the back you can push that penny in, and it'll lock it in, and you don't have to worry about it. Or dimes, but pennies work better. There's a book. There's going to be times when you can read, like when you're waiting in dental or something like that. If you want to read the actual book, a really good book is called Call Sign Chaos. It was a book recommended in one of our lectures by one of the warrants. So look it up. Buy a hard copy. Call Sign Chaos. And Dr. Scholl's. So the black Bates boot shoes that you get, regular dress shoes, that you wear with your khakis, are awful. They're super hard on your feet. They hurt the balls of your feet. They hurt the heel. It's like walking on plywood. So bring a good pair of Dr. Scholl's or whatever, gel insert that you want. Bring it. Okay. Shifting gears onto my things to keep in mind list. First one, leave your ego at the door. So you're coming in here, you just graduated from dental school, you're a doctor, I get it. That's awesome. No one's trying to take that away from you. But don't roll in here like you're better than anybody else, and because you're just hosing everyone over, right? It's really unfortunate for everybody else who's trying to do good. Just drink the Kool-Aid, and do what you're asked to do. If you're told to walk on the right side of the hallway, and you're told to bring your water or hydration tool everywhere with you, do it. Just do it. If you're told to have your shirt tucked in, tuck your shirt in. This isn't like do whatever you feel like day. To be cool, or I don't know. It doesn't matter. Like, your opinions don't matter. So just do what you're told to do. It's super simple. Really easy. I don't get it. I don't understand, maybe because I'm older, I'm about 10 years older than on average than most people there, but it just doesn't make sense, I wrote we questions versus me questions. So when you're in a lecture hall or you're somewhere and you're being told and they're like, do you have any questions? Don't raise your hand and be like, well, what about my super specific situation that only applies to me and doesn't affect anybody else, yet I'm going to ask it here and delay everybody else from going to the racks or going to go shower or whatever other valuable time that you're taking away from everybody else. Don't do it. Only ask we questions in a we setting, and then save your me questions for your chain of command. Talk to your wing commander or go talk to the class, the diva or whoever, right? Like, if you have a specific question, save it. And if you're in a lecture hall, during breaks, the lecturer doesn't leave. They stand there at the front. And a lot of times, you just go on up there and ask your specific question about, pay or travel or whatever it is that only applies to you. Save it. Don't screw everybody else's time over because you think your question is so important. Okay? Options for payments. So this is talking about uniforms. So you're gonna have to buy uniforms, and you can do it with gift. This is gonna be kind of foggy. You can do it with gift cards. You show up, they give you all these gift cards, it's like a ton of money, and you use them all. And the reason being is because you buy uniforms in two separate periods, right? So you get your PT gear and your track suits and a couple things in like day one, and then you get all fitted in all your other uniforms on a different day, and you don't pay for those until you pick them all up. So what they want you to do is they'll give you gift cards, and you buy your first set, and then you buy your second set with gift cards. And if you're going to apply for the Star card, which is a credit card, you get all these percentage perks. It's like 10% plus an additional 15 on top of whatever the first time you use it. And it's only the first time you use it. So they want you to collectively have all the things under one bill or one tally, and then you use your Star card and you get all these super discounts, and then you pay it off. So you have options. Or you just buy it with whatever, if you have a credit card and you want to get points or whatever. I just put it on my regular credit card. I didn't apply. I don't have a Star card. Because I'm also a reservist. So if you're new to the Navy, you're starting an active career, and you're going to, those guys that go to USIS, right, you folks, your next 17 years are planned out, right? Your residency plus your 7-year time commitment plus your 4-year med school, you're in it for a career, so you might as well get a Star card. That's what you want to do. Another thing to keep in mind: quit caffeine and nicotine. However long ahead, a week, two ahead before you show up, because you're not going to be able to have it. So lots of people with like crazy headaches and everything else because they're having caffeine. You don't want to deal with caffeine withdrawals and headaches, and you have nicotine withdrawals, and you have going through depression or whatever while you're getting yelled at week 1, week 2. Like, you just don't want to have to, you're losing sleep because you're anxious and whatever. So if you can, nix the nicotine or caffeine before you show up. I'll tell you what I did. I had that little Mio energy drink, squeezer, squirter. I had a little separate water thing in my locker. And I would just straight shot, just concentrate. Awful. But, boom, got my quick caffeine in the morning, and at least didn't have a headache. That was it. And then that's like for week 1. And then you're authorized coffee in the galley, starting, ours was like week 2. But it's dumb because you have to wait till everyone's seated, and then you have to, like, everyone runs up, and then everyone, like, gets their coffee, and you, like, get back to sit down, and your coffee's, like, the temperature of a volcano, but you only have that time to drink it. So you're like trying to drink it, and then you're done with your food, but you're, like, full on coffee. It's not like a sit on your front porch and sip your coffee type of ordeal, and you don't have it the whole rest of the day. So it is what it is. And then eventually the Marines at Mardet will, remember, Marine Detachment, they will start selling stuff. They sell hot coffee, the Keurigs, and they sell cold coffee, and you'll be fine. Energy drinks, you'll be good. Also, first weekend, second weekend, I want to say no caffeine still, or whatever. So no carbonation, so no energy drinks. People did it anyway, bought the energy drinks, and I'm like, what are you doing? Not authorized. The next one. They only issued white shirt stays for people. And you're wearing khakis the majority of the time with black socks. So for your inspection, you need to wear your shirt stays under your socks as a requirement. I didn't even check mine, but it's a requirement. But it's super uncomfortable because you have that strap, like, right on the heel, on the arch of your foot. So, like, anyways, I wear my shirt stays outside my socks, but mine are also black, so you can't really see them. So my advice is to buy black shirt stays and bring them with you, and white maybe. That way you don't have to buy them there if you're getting both. But they only issued white shirt stays, so I figured I'd make a note of it. Oh, you may not have a roommate sleep on the opposite rack. You're super lucky, right? You have one rack you're supposed to make, and you got the corners, and you got the distance and everything, and it's like perfect. Then you have another bed that you're not supposed to sleep in, but nobody is checking, right? Nobody's coming into your room when your door's shut and you're asleep. That'd be a violation of something, I'm sure. So do that. Don't be such a square that you're, like, afraid to, don't do as I say, is what I'm saying. Like, anyways, I had a roommate, so it wasn't an option for me. However, I did not sleep under my bed, my sheets. I brought a blanket. You won't, depending on when you go, you won't need a blanket. You're, like, sweating our asses off the whole time. But I just slept on top of my covers. Now, obviously, like, they got loose and whatever, but in the morning I just tucked them in, made them nice and tight, checked my measurements, boom, I was done. And, like, my roommate made his bed every day. Good for him.